What's up, Internet? This is Rambling Josh, and you're watching another episode of Let's Play Castlevania, Symphony of the Night. Today, we ascend through this area into the depths of the area known as Olrox's quarters. Technically, that's where we are already, but I consider this just kind of like an extension of the Colosseum or the Clock Room or something. The real Olrox's quarters is up above. One quick note, just to point something out that's kind of useless, but an interesting thing. With the Holy Sword, you actually have a special ability. If you press down and do a quarter circle forward, you can do like a special slash like that. It takes a little bit of MP, and it doesn't really do all that much more than a normal slash, so it's not something I'm ever really going to use on purpose, but it's there. So anyways, no! Go up! Ugh. Why won't you do it? I refuse to not do this with the gravity boots. Like I said, you can chain these together, and there we go. Okay, I got it now. That's far and away the fastest way to get up there. And just do a little bit of infinite wing smash through this room. And none of these pots have anything worthwhile in them, so that's like not something to worry about. No, go up! I need to go in here. Not because I care about saving, but because I want to get my MP back. Now this room is really big, so I'm basically just like wing smashing about to try and get some map completion here. So wing smash back the other direction. It's actually possible to modify, to like change what direction you're... Not what direction, but you can, when you're wing smashing, you can move your course, you can alter your course up and down a little bit, which can actually come in real handy in some spots, but it's also really hard to do the wing smash and also modify your course while you're going. So if you're really good, it's really impressive when you see someone do it well, but that is not me. There is a secret in that room, but I used up all my MP wing smashing, and I'm too lazy to find where it actually is, so you come over here first, smash that. That unlocks a shortcut back to the clock tower. And now that I've got a little chance to get my MP back, there we go, Sill Steel. The secret is right there. And here we get the sword card. If you're not aware of what these cards do, each card is actually a familiar. You can only have one familiar out at a time, but it's like a little ally that flies around and does stuff. See, he spun and he like smacked the zombie in the head. And your familiars even level up. Like you can see my sword got 4 experience from that. And the reason I'm mentioning all this is because if you actually want to use a familiar, the sword familiar is probably the best one. In fact, if you get the sword familiar up to level 50, then he basically like transforms into the strongest sword in the game. But ultimately, familiars aren't really all that useful. Their AI is terrible, and they just don't really do all that much. Like, they can be pretty good if you level them up enough, but I just don't really care. So, running a little bit low on MP again. So we're just gonna dash across here. I love doing that. Using the momentum to like just kind of float through the opening in the ground is just, it's very satisfying. I actually want the leather shield because we have a boss coming up who is actually pretty tricky. This is Olrox. With the leather shield's cow spell on, he shouldn't be a hard boss, but without it, he can do enough damage that he can actually be pretty hard. With the leather shield spell, he's basically just annoying. Once you kill him, or so to speak, he transforms into this thing. Oh god. He makes the explosions, and the explosions are like practically impossible to dodge. That actually went really well. I got some good jump slash chains on him, so he went down pretty quickly. But that little move where he like shoots a little line on the ground and then the explosions come up out of it, that move is insane. Like, it's really hard to dodge. It's pretty much like you can't jump over it. There's basically no way to outrange it vertically. And it comes up quick enough that it can be hard to get out of its way even horizontally. So it's just a really big pain in the butt. So anyways, we get the echo of that. Now it is time for another library card. Unfortunately, I guess it's not unfortunate, it's just kind of a little annoying how the only real way to like get around the castle quickly is to warp to the library all over the place. That doesn't even make sense. Way to make sense. Like, warping to the library is just often the easiest way to get around. And it's kind of unfortunate because it means that you end up going through the library so often, but what are you gonna do? If it's faster, it's faster. Now, I mentioned previously that when I got the Mirror Curious, it was not the optimal time to do it. And using the route that I'm using, this is probably the best time to get it. Because we are going down to this kind of lower section of the outer wall anyways. So we want to go here through the Angel Corridor, but the Mirror Curious is down there. So this is probably the best time to do it. But whatever. Doesn't really matter. So now in this room, you might think that it's best to infinite wing smash through here, and you would probably be right. But what it ultimately comes down to is, because this room is so flat, I prefer to just continue using shield dashing through here. Shield dashing works best in flat areas, obviously. Whenever you have like a slope or a drop off, like you can see when I like dash off here, you have to take the time to fall off of it. So shield dashing doesn't work especially well in areas like that. But in perfectly flat or sloping downward areas, shield dashing is still really quickly. So in areas like that Angel Corridor where it's just flat, I still prefer to use the shield dash, but that's just me. Did I go too far? I did go too far. I was talking and I wasn't paying attention. I actually want to go over here, the top right of this little X intersection of stairs. Obviously we could have come here much earlier because we had the Jewel of Open, but I just didn't really feel like it. So what does that switch do, you might ask? Well, you may have noticed that there are these little areas with the little grates here. Those grates are now open. You might want to grab that library card. Realistically, I bought so many of them that I probably do not need that library card, but you might as well grab it. When wing smashes fail. If you didn't notice, when you get hit by enemies, you transform out of the bat. So anyways, we are heading into the, I guess you could say, the basement of the castle. And this is where the route gets kind of messy at this point, I guess. As far as I'm concerned, there isn't really a good way to route the bottom of this castle, and I'm failing at the wing smashes hardcore here. The Underground Caverns are just really windy and I don't know, they're weird. Ooh. Do you even want to go back that way? Well, that settles it. I'm not going back that way. So one of the big reasons why the caverns are so annoying to route is because there's two main ways to kind of descend into them. One is there's this area, and then there's another screen like right beside it. And they're both really long screens, so it's kind of annoying to try and figure out, like, okay, so do I go up one screen and then down the other when I'm coming back, or do I just do one screen and then immediately go down the other one? It's weird and annoying. What I decided on was to go down that one windy, or I guess it doesn't really matter which one you go down. But you go down one of the routes, and then when you're in the caverns, you just come down the left side of the caverns here. Because the caverns are very, like, long, horizontal areas. There's technically... I consider it to be, like, two halves. So this is, like, the left half. And you kind of... I guess you don't have to, but it's best to do this side first. These frogs are really annoying because they're, like, small and low to the ground. One thing also to note is that water actually hurts you. For some reason. I don't know why water would hurt a vampire, but it is what it is. So, jump across here and hit that switch. That's going to be important later. You notice the skeleton 8 popped out and the message come up saying something about the wooden bridge. Now, this waterfall is really annoying because, like I said, water hurts you, and it, like, when you get into the waterfall, it tries to push you down, and sometimes it kind of gets stuck. And I want to try and explore this entire screen in one go if I can, so... Wing smash through there. Okay, we're discovering the right side of this area now. It's surprisingly hard to uncover the map squares on the right side of this waterfall. That's kind of annoying. But we got it. I think there's one square. No, I got it. Okay. Luckily, those frozen shades are not very hard to kill. Although, if they do hit you, they can freeze you, which can be kind of annoying. So we got a Mr. Ferryman over there, but before we go over and pay a visit to the Ferryman, I want to take a little bit of a detour here. So this is another shortcut, and this leads back to the entrance of the castle. And more life max up! Okay. So there's two things in particular that I want to do here. Or I guess three, technically. The first is that there's an area up here that we can access now that we have our powers of vertical ascendance. Oh my god, the wing smashes. Why can I not wing smash today? Oh well. Wing smashes are kind of hard to do with the D-pad at the best of times. Up here we grab the Holy Mail, which is just a little bit stronger defensively. There we go, that's a little bit better. I actually want to save my MP a little bit because I want to wing smash through here. And I failed. It's actually... Hold on, I want to try something. Just because it's cool. There's a little... kind of like a bug, I guess, with the wing smash, where every time you do... like the... How should I put this? The infinite wing smash is done by basically starting another wing smash before the last one ends. But there's an interesting kind of trick that goes along with this. It's not really tricks so much as like... Come on! No, okay. Oh, I think I should have enough room left still. Yeah! So every time you do a wing smash, it kind of like adds on to the previous one. And basically what that means is that every wing smash that you do, it adds on to the damage as well. So if you do a infinite wing smash is like 5 inputs in a row, when you actually hit an enemy, it does the damage of 5 wing smashes all at once, even if it doesn't actually show that amount as the damage number. So that's pretty cool. Because, as you can see, like I killed that Owl Knight dude in a single shot. So I think that's pretty awesome. And when you actually like get a nice kill out of it, it's pretty cool. So up there, we got the, what was it, the Power Wolf? Yeah. And what that lets us do is it makes our dash a little bit quicker. But also, you can see we turn kind of whitish. And now we like hurt enemies when we're dashing. So, you might not think it's important, but we actually use the wolf dash through there. And the reason that's important is because of this thing. There's what appears to be a solid wall there, which is actually one of the weirder secrets in this game. Basically, if you wolf dash through... Actually, hopefully I didn't mess it up, but if you wolf dash through this little area here, and then wing smash through it the other way, for some reason that opens up this door here. And in here, we have, well, a life apple, and a jewel sword. The jewel sword is an interesting weapon in that it's pretty powerful. I think it's roughly equal to the holy sword, actually. Okay, no, it's not actually anywhere close. But it's a strong weapon, but as it says, it has the chance of turning enemies into jewels. So if you're looking to farm some money, then that's easily the easiest way to go about it. Easily the easiest, that's words.
I'll take you to a place which might be interesting for you.
Okay, sure, why not? So, this is another room that I want to try and, like the waterfall, I want to try and make sure that I uncover all the map squares in this room in one go. So this bottom right square that we're in right now can be kind of elusive at sometimes. Making sure I get all the squares up there. Okay, we're looking good. It's also worth noting that there's actually nothing stopping you from just using the bat and wing smashing your way through here. In fact, I'll just do that. But obviously the water hurts, so if you mess up that can be bad. Now there's a couple squares down there that I still want to uncover. So I'm gonna... Ow. Jeez, stupid killer fish. Stop killing me. Okay, well... Yeah. So just eat the damage, and I want a library card out anyways, so... Now I don't need to return to that side of the caverns at all. Now, I'm not convinced that this is the optimal way to go about this yet. It kind of feels weird to explore the caverns and then use a library card, because we're just going back to the other side of the caverns again. But we're kind of descending using the other route this time, just in terms of getting map completion. So I don't think it's terrible, but it feels kind of sloppy and not as good as it could be, I guess. But that's what we're doing. We should never have to return to the screen with the waterfall or the ferryman, so that's good. And that will actually be somewhat important when you realize what we're going to be doing next, now that we have the merman statue. As it says, it summons the oarsman. Although, we'll probably not see what that actually does until the next episode. I guess I probably should have taken the elevator instead of shield dashing down here, but whatever. make our way... You know what? We're getting a little low on time, so I'm just gonna wing smash. That wasn't too bad. I've gone through this entire room with a single wing... Not a single, but without interrupting my wing smash before. But it's hard. I'm still not very good at it. But I'm improving. Although one interesting note that I didn't even realize until I actually looked it up is the fact that infinite wing smash is actually impossible on the PSP version of the game. So I was like playing through the PSP version and just failing the infinite wing smash and being like, okay, I guess I'm just terrible at this. When in reality, it just wasn't possible. I'm not really sure why I did that, honestly. I don't really need the MP. But anyways, this is the other route down into the Underground Caverns. So, we will explore this path on the next episode of Let's Play Castlevania, Symphony of the Night. Catch you later.